Wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken?
Rachel Zegler's involvement in the live-action Snow White project was supposed to be a crowning achievement, a moment where her star power merged with Disney's classic legacy to usher in a new era of fairy tale adaptations. Yet from the moment rumors
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends.
surfaced about significant changes to the beloved story, public opinion began to shift. The conversation took an even sharper turn.
Zegler then inexplicably continued to post herself in an empty theater for her own movie. She's the only person there. Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
When Jack Black allegedly confronted Zegler over the film's production issues and her fervent defense of the project, this confrontation, according to widespread whispers, may have triggered a breakdown on Zegler's part, one that underscores the intense scrutiny and pressure that have built around this adaptation. What started as a Disney remake with high expectations has morphed into an ongoing
The future of Hollywood is being battled out right now in theaters as 2 live-action remakes from the biggest studios in Hollywood go head-to-head.
complete with accusations of misguided creative choices, test screenings that seemingly created more problems than they solved, and speculation about whether Disney's approach to revitalizing its classics has finally overstepped the mark. Long before any confrontation between Jack Black and Rachel Zegler was rumored to have taken place, audiences were already discussing the wave of criticism aimed at this version of Snow White. Dedicated Disney fans who generally welcome every remake, sequel, or spin off soon felt uneasy about the direction of the story.
Warner Brothers' Minecraft movie versus Disney's Snow White, which in theory should be quite a battle, but it's not even a fair fight.
Whispers of an overbearing message permeating the narrative, combined with test audience complaints of an uneven pace, amplified skepticism that this particular production might be faltering, while some chalked up early grumblings to the typical cycle of internet cynicism. A chorus of dissatisfied voices grew louder each time a new detail emerged.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist, who's just clinical at this point, saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
It reached the point that even Bob Iger, along with Zegler herself, took to public channels trying to quell the discontent and assure everyone that the film was simply misunderstood. Despite their best efforts, the controversy surrounding Snow White became nearly impossible to ignore. Reports suggested that reshoots and last-minute edits had created jarring tonal shifts in the final cut. Rumors swirled that entire scenes were cut or rearranged at the 11th hour, leaving the continuity in shambles. And everything I do, people will wait in line to see. Test audiences described an initially promising opening that quickly deteriorated into an incoherent sequence of events. Some lamented that the pacing never recovered from its early missteps, while others pointed to a heavy thematic layer overshadowing what should have been a charming story about one of Disney's oldest princesses. Amid the swirling debate, a new storyline emerged. You know what's interesting about all this is that the only person waiting in line to see Snow White was Rachel Zegler. Jack Black, known for his comedic verve, energetic performances, and surprisingly thoughtful takes on pop culture, allegedly confronted Rachel Zegler about her handling of the mounting criticism. While details of this confrontation are murky at best, rumors indicate that Black questioned whether dismissing fans as ignorant or malicious was the right way to address genuine concerns. Rachel Zegler then inexplicably continued to post herself in a empty theater for her own movie. She's literally the only person there, and do you not understand how humiliating this is? This direct approach, as the story goes, led to a heated exchange in which Zegler grew visibly upset, culminating in what witnesses have described as a full-on breakdown. Some speculate that she felt cornered, carrying the immense weight of an anticipated Disney blockbuster on her shoulders while also grappling with harsh personal critiques on social media. Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this. Others believe that stress from reshoots, negative fan reception, and the reorientation of the film's narrative had already pushed Zegler to her limit, making Black's pointed confrontation the final straw. As these rumors spread, various corners of the internet seized on them as proof that something was fundamentally wrong behind the scenes. It wasn't simply a matter of creative disagreements, and the cops had to escort the rowdy teenagers out the Minecraft movie is doing something magical. It's creating a live audience reaction event. It was an indication that the tension and frustration felt by fans and critics alike had seeped into the production itself, affecting the personalities involved. Neither Disney nor Zegler publicly acknowledged the alleged confrontation with Jack Black, but that did little to stem the flood of speculation. People who had already decided that this Snow White remake was a misfire found new fodder for their arguments. Encouraging to see a movie that decided to do the opposite of Snow White, which is, according to all available reviews including from the people that I trust the very most on this platform, painting a picture of a tumultuous set and an embattled leading lady. On the other hand, some watchers urged caution, reminding everyone that internet hearsay can balloon without concrete evidence and that big-budget productions are often under tremendous stress, which can lead to emotional moments that might not necessarily define the whole project. The question at the core of this controversy remained the same. It is non-political. The Minecraft movie does not try to beat you and box you about the ears with the message. How did a fairy tale as cherished as Snow White become such a hot spot of discourse, and did Jack Black's rumored involvement highlight deeper issues in the film's execution? While Zegler continued, at least publicly, to stand behind the story's merits, critics argued that no amount of public relations spin could disguise a weak foundation. They pointed to structural flaws in the screenplay. It is just silly fun for kids, which is what a kids movie should be. Abrupt scene transitions and pacing that never allowed viewers to fully settle into the narrative. Even the comedic talents of those involved, like Black, in the event that he had any cameo or creative input, could not salvage a film that many suspected was overburdened by an agenda. In the weeks leading up to the film's broader release, Bob Iger joined Zegler in trying to maintain a sense of optimism about the project. Whereas the Snow White model is the message ad infinitum, shoved directly up your ass, and most importantly in the most insufferable possible way, like screamed at you. He emphasized that Disney has a history of reinventing its classics in ways that speak to new generations while retaining the heart of the original. However, longtime fans who were typically loyal began posting openly critical remarks, a rare break from the usual enthusiastic welcome Disney remakes often receive. Many felt that it wasn't just a matter of personal preference but a fundamental misalignment between what the audience loved about the original Snow White and what this new version was delivering. And so let's see how they fared against each other. The Minecraft movie breaks box office record with $300 million global opening, while woke Snow White slips again. Some insisted that the collision of modern sensibilities with timeless fairy tale simplicity created a disjointed experience, while others suspected production meddling had diluted any sincere creative vision. Rumors of the Jack Black confrontation only intensified this discussion. If the comedic actor, respected for his ability to navigate Hollywood's eccentricities, could not contain his reservations, in theory Snow White should as well. Snow White's the movie that made Disney the studio. They should have been more cautious and careful with their own IP. It seemed to reinforce the idea that the film was in more trouble than Disney cared to admit. Cynics jumped on the story as indicative of a meltdown within the production. Meanwhile, defenders of Zegler argued that if she did break down, it was understandable given the high-pressure environment and intense social media scrutiny. They pointed out that female leads often bear the brunt of fan dissatisfaction, especially when they speak out to defend work they believe in. The Disney Snow White, faithfully adapted, would have made $1 billion. Everyone knows this as the rumor mill churned. Additional speculation centered on how exactly Jack Black had confronted Zegler. Was it a private conversation overheard by a crew member? Did it happen during a press event off camera but an earshot of bystanders? Or was it a heated phone call or text exchange blown out of proportion? Each version varied, but a common thread was the image of Zegler becoming emotional in response. Disney's most controversial and discussed remakes in recent memory, a potent reminder that not even the most iconic fairy tales are immune to the storm of modern cultural contention.